Good evening, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our service this evening. Let us begin our service with the singing of Hevenu Shalom Aleichem.
Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom Aleichem, Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem.
We continue now with the singing of the Shabbat candle blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
For those of you who are following your prayer books, I'm on page 6. May the door of our synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Please turn to page 24. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bakuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, hakadosh baruch hu. Tzedekhem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
May this Shabbat be a peaceful and quiet one for all of us. May we have a few moments to sit back and relax and refresh ourselves, our bodies, and our spirits. But that is what we are supposed to do. May we have the opportunity to have that rest where the cares and the troubles and the challenges of the world around us are distant. Let us turn now to page 28 as we rise for the Baruch.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. Speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the times and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, ruling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us unto eternity. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev HaMa'ariv Aravim. Let us continue with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Atanu limod etah, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shogbeinu, b'kirumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, v'nurek yomeinu, uvahem negelonam v'laylo.
Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu la'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. And we continue on page 36. You shall love Adonai, your God, with all your heart.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all them in your home and on your way. When you lie down, when you rise up, bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. I am Adonai, your God.
Page 38. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppression's hands and saved us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You gave us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. Milchamocha.
Ze'eli, Ze'eli, Anu ve'amaru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ya ba ba bi 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 bam, ya ba ba bim bam, ya ba ba bi 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 bam, ya ba ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam.
The top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 44, Yismachu.
Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shvi Shabbat. Kulam yisbeu v'dagam mituvecha Shabbat. Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat.
People of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, And on the seventh day, God ceased from work and was refreshed. Page 46, please rise for the tefillah.
Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Bezerat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeha Kol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid Hatal Mechachel Chayim Bechesed Mechayeha Kol Berachamim Rabim Somek Nobilim Verovei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato L'shenei Avar Lahachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. I'm on the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. On page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. And if we turn now to page 59, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha, u'lecha na'eh lechodot. Page 60, Shalom Ra.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. V'tov b'yadinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Baruch atah Adonai Hamavareket Amo Yisrael B'Shalom.
Let us take a few moments for private silent prayer.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Yisrael a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen us, O Lord, and keep us from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. May God keep you and shield you from strife. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor us, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer.
Please turn to page 253, Prayers for Healing. Meishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel ve'Leah Hu Yavarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Bless and heal those who are ill. Let me mention in particular Ralph Einstein, Stuart Tauber, Bert Silbert, Rabbi Jonathan Katz, Alex Spivak, Jen Hartlove, Jim Gardner, Marlene Gardner, and those of you who have additional names to mention, say them out loud or say them to yourselves now. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say amen as we sing together.
Be the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, mekor habracha leovotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And we offer a prayer of thanksgiving on behalf of those who are feeling better at this time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shegimalanu kol tov. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has bestowed every goodness upon us. May the one who has bestowed goodness upon us continue to bestow every goodness upon us forever. Page 258. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity. May our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction. May we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. The naked give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. Avinu Shebashamayim.
Avinu Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Baruch Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulotenu. Again, again, Alecha, Bevrot, Bevrot Chastecha, Shama Shamayim, deliver them and crown their efforts with triumph. Oh, Shama Shamayim, so Israel bless our land with peace, O God, and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen. Amen. Boring its meaning not Israel.
At the beginning of the service, I expressed my deep hope that we could all have a Shabbat of peace and quiet, a chance to refresh ourselves, recharge our batteries, so to speak, to shut out the world around us and all its cares and all its concerns and all its troubles. But that's not always so easy. Some eventful things to look forward to this weekend. I'm not good at predicting the future, but there will be a major political change in Israel on Sunday. I'll believe everything when I see it. It's almost as saying I don't believe it until the ink is on the paper. But no matter how things go, it will be a significant change. I'm not even going to begin to give my predictions or my conclusions or my analysis. Let me wait a week, because we have been proven wrong in the past. We are not in control of the future. We're not even in control of the past. And I'm going to mention again this week, as I said quite clearly last week, we can understand our past or the past of any other people from many different perspectives. A lot of this is motivated by the recent decisions in the state of Florida to dictate the curriculum of social studies courses in the classroom. But it has Jewish significance as well. I mentioned in my class last Tuesday about heritage tours that people take to Europe to see where their families came from. Those tours can emphasize synagogues. Those tours, if the buildings are still there, or to show where they used to be. Those tours can emphasize death camps. Those tours can emphasize religious history. They can emphasize social history. We have, from an American success perspective, cleaned up a lot of our history. And if you were to turn the clock back 100 years ago in Europe, or to a great extent in this country, many Jews' political orientation was more toward what we would call socialism. Now, I'm distinguishing socialism from Stalinism, and this isn't what you hear in the general media or in editorials in certain newspapers around here. Socialism does not mean totalitarianism. It means caring about people. It means about the government and society helping those who are in need. Now, it became a little bit unpopular, and it didn't sound nice, especially in the McCarthy era. So we rewrote our history, and we didn't emphasize that. Jews who came to this country, not because they were looking for religious freedom, I understand many were, but Jews who came to this country who were trying to improve themselves economically. But it sounds better to say you came here for religious freedom. And if you weren't so religious, if you were thoroughly secularized, So you prove to the world that you were safe, especially in the McCarthy era, by joining a synagogue. We read our history and understand our history differently from whatever perspective we're from. And if we're going to be fair, I may express my bias, but I have to express that it is a bias. And I have to say, yes, I have legitimately, or maybe illegitimately, left certain things out. We are facing a challenge if curricula in the schools refuse to cover certain things. Now, I will share with you that, and I've said this several times in the past week, that every time one of my children brought home a history or sociology or what have you textbook, I wanted to go through it and I gave my perspective. If nothing else, they heard a different interpretation, and that's okay too. Different interpretations are healthy. Now let's switch gears for a minute and talk about another aspect of history, and it affects Jewish history, not in this country, but in Poland. Poland is going through a complete reevaluation of what Poland is, and this has been going on for decades. Is Poland a country of ethnic Poles? What happened to all the Jews, or the Germans who lived there, or the Ukrainians who lived there, etc.? Does their history count? Is the time frame of the Second World War, are Jews the main victims? We would clearly say so. Others would say Poles would be the main victims. Some of the debates have become extraordinarily nasty, and laws were passed to restrict how things could be referred to. This is not the way we learn about ourselves, and this is not the way we learn about our past. Some of us, growing up and learning and going to school, were exposed to very biased accounts of history. Some of us were more fortunate in having family or people who could direct us to see another approach to things. Our Torah reading this week talks about conflicts in ancient times in the desert as our people were moving through the wilderness. We have this slogan from the Jewish Federation's fundraising, "We are one." Well, we like to think so, and I hope we are, but we are, and we have been throughout our history, so unbelievably divided, but we hope there is a unity underneath it all. There's been a lot of name calling within the Jewish world, particularly in Israel right now. I guess the worst insult you can possibly give a modern Orthodox politician who wears a little kippah is to call him a Reformed Jew and be honest and take your kippah off. That is what Naftali Bennett is having to put up with right now from religious extremists. Are they really concerned about religion? Or are they more concerned about which political party controls the government purse strings? Well, we will see what happens in the next few days. But I would hope, and this is my own hope, you see a group of people who got together in Israel and seem to have put together a coalition from the right, from the left, religious, secular, worse than secular, anti-religious, an Arab party no less. And maybe that's what we really need. We can have our different approaches to things. The classic exam question. Answer this question the way this group would answer it. Then answer it the way that group would answer it. Or from a religious perspective, give a biblical passage. How would a Jew understand this? How would a Christian understand this? Recognizing that you take a passage that are understood quite differently by different religions. Don't even get yet into the debate as to who's right or who's wrong. We're not worrying about that now. We're trying to see that there is a variety of interpretation, and without censorship, maybe we can celebrate that variety. So I have a hope I have a hope that the world will be a better place. I have a hope that somehow or another extremists on all sides will learn self-restraint. I know that's asking for the impossible, but we Jews have asked for the impossible throughout history. And may we have a nice, relaxing Shabbat and a nice, relaxing weekend. On that note, let us turn now to page 283, and those of you who are able, please rise for the adoration.
No.
Okay.
Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spread all the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Va'anaknu korim, umishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech Malkei haMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yehyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. A prayer before the Kaddish. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair, and God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirit with abiding trust in you. We remember this evening the recently departed Joshua Haran, Ronald Lebo, Sophie Pollack, Lee Black, Martin Ross, Al Grossman, Norman Gross, Florence Haar, B. Einstein, Dolores Schindinger, Judith Nelson Feldman. Also remember those whose yard sites occur at this time: Allison Clayback, Sidney Alexander, Abraham Burke, Howard Feinschreiber, Jason Freund, Harold Hantman, Albert S., Lucille Lee, Regina Moyer, Bell Novick, Ralph Schuster, Abraham Tober, Sam Wolf. And if you have additional names, again, say them out loud or say them to yourselves as we turn to page 294 and rise for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael ba'gala u'vizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam ul'almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei dekudsha riku le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace grant peace unto those who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us. Let us all say Amen. Please be seated. I have the honor of doing the announcements again this evening. And first, apologies, the codes or the numbers for the service tonight and the service tomorrow morning, I think got reversed in our e-blast. We are going to try to send something out that will be a correction. If some of you had trouble getting in, well, you must have resolved it somehow or another yourselves, but we will do our best to double check, proofread, re-proofread, and so forth in the future. Next week, FYI, I am going to be out of town Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Cell phone will be with me. If you need to contact me for any reason, do not hesitate, and I will do my best from a distance to try to help. Since I'm going to be out of town, my class will not meet this Tuesday, the 15th, nor for other reasons will it meet on the 22nd. Now, let me bring you up to date. I think I have some news that at least excites me. We are already planning going back into our sanctuary for services. I am on vacation during July, and we are going to pre-record Friday night services for the first 4 Fridays in July. There are 5 Fridays in this July. My tentative plan, in other words, Bli Neder, I'm not swearing an oath. If change our minds or there's a problem, you'll understand. I am hoping for the very last Friday of July that we can do a service in the sanctuary as a sort of dress rehearsal that you're all invited to. We are in the process of setting up all the physical aspects of whatever is needed to live stream from the sanctuary. We are definitely going to be continuing the experiment and refining, fine-tuning everything that we are doing through August. And then in September, Rosh Hashanah, I hope we'll be there. These are all reasonable hopes. Obviously, it's contingent on whatever else may or may not happen. I hope there won't be any bad news, but I have to tell you, I personally am very excited. It's been 15 months now, and it doesn't seem right. And there's only one thing we can do, and that is try our best, given the new challenges that we have, to get back into that building as soon as is reasonable and healthy. So, good. I'm pleased. I hope you are. I really hope you are too, because this is the sort of thing that keeps us going as a community and as a people. That hope, no matter how bad things are, they certainly will get better. So, to conclude our service, page 322, join in the singing, if you can, of Ein Keloheinu.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kodonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Elmokeinu, Mich Kamoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Special thanks to all of you who made the extra effort to find the links and everything for this service this evening. Thanks to Anne and to Kai for the music. Thanks to Corin and Spencer for all your efforts in broadcasting this and recording it, everything else. Good Shabbos to everybody. Yevarech Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yifunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God protect us and guard us and keep us safe and healthy. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Michael Eisenstadt.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Michael.
I love